brother John.
And this is Kiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See that.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
Smart
is
the new
gangsta,
baby.
And if you don't know, now you don't know.
No. It's Monday.
It is motivational. Make it happen. Money making Monday.
All of that.
Yeah. All of the above.
All of that.
Yeah. We doing all of the above. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to 99 Gems, man. 99.1 FM. We also want to give a shout out to the Mo Show Live, because we up in Atlanta, syndicated broadcast. So thank y'all for tuning in the mighty ATL and surrounding areas. And really, if you on the Mo Show Live, you like it's international. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. And the moshowlive.com, man. Check us out. Also, again, shout out to Don J, Tony Charles, Sister Hughes. Make you lose your shoes.
Lose your shoes.
And shut all around the house.
Go to church.
Up in here.
Super Dave, the old school
flavor show.
Can't forget Jab.
Yeah, King Jab, the voice of the people. Yeah.
His nephew did his thing last night too.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. So talk about it. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I didn't watch all of it.
Okay.
Only because I was on the road.
Okay.
But I did see Valdez make the first touchdown of the night.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yep.
I came in like in the middle of the halftime show.
Okay.
Right.
What did you think of the halftime show?
So what I did see, I liked.
Okay. So what you saw, you liked, right?
What I saw.
Okay.
I will say
I hear
that. What I saw, I did like.
Yeah, we was talking earlier, and I said it was all right. It was good. It was a good all right, but it was all right.
It's just all right.
Yeah, I mean, some people seem to think that Usher did his thing. So here's this thing.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
This might be an unpopular take, but I don't really think Usher can dance like that. I mean, he got his two-step and some footwork, but that's kind of my take. Help me. What you think? Can Usher dance?
Yeah, I think Usher can dance.
Usher can really dance.
Yeah, I think Usher can dance.
He just be sliding and moving, with footwork, but it ain't like.
I mean, footwork is footwork.
I guess James Brown had the footwork though. James Brown was a footwork type of guy. What y'all think? Can Usher really jump?
I mean, okay, let's call a spade too.
Okay.
Usher ain't no you know what I mean, young tenderoni either.
He ain't Usher from 04. He ain't the 04 Usher.
No, he not. But the fact that he still getting it in.
Yeah.
Usher has had a huge year this year.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because he's been doing
the
what's your name? JJ, what's good, brother?
He started with the he had his residency.
Yeah.
In Vegas. That ended.
So that made it make sense with him being out there in Vegas.
Right.
Then, right.
So, and then he been doing that for a few years.
The residency.
Yeah, but he really kind of did his thing. So
okay.
And people was posting him. He had got his thing where he was going out to celebrities. That's how Keke Palmer got all in the whole mix.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
So I wasn't upset with what I saw.
Okay.
It was entertaining.
Yeah. And then I saw some memes about him and Alicia Keys, and they were saying this is you and your work husband. Did you see any of those?
No.
Because how he was kind of a little close, and they said handsy.
I see. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, they said he was a little handsy, and how he embraced her, and she a whole married woman.
I think he's in a full relationship as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
he can skate his butt off though.
Because I did see him skate.
Yeah, he was skating.
Yeah, now you can't be mad at the skate.
I can't be mad. I ain't mad at none of it.
Okay.
But I just I don't think he's in my top tier of dancers.
Who's your top tier dancers?
Chris Brown is he be juking. Chris Breezy, Bruno Mars. I like to see Bruno Mars do his thing.
Bruno Mars old school.
Yeah. I like the Bruno Mars, how he move, and how he move his band, and how he conduct. You know what I'm saying? He put on a real show.
So I love Bruno Mars, right?
Yeah.
So y'all know, if you listen to my music, I have a plethora of music, right?
Right.
And so I listen to Bruno Mars station because on Pandora, a plethora of people come in.
Cool. What's good, man?
You know, like I get Sam Hunt,
Yeah.
I get Chris Brown,
Yeah.
I get Tim McGraw, I get Faith Hill.
Yeah, you do got a wide range.
I get
yeah. Your range is really wide.
Everywhere. So you never know what you're gonna listen to when you hop in my car, which is fine with
Yeah,
me because I jam. I know all the words to almost everything that come in my car.
Why not?
But what I like, Bruno Mars, he started out like, you know, making love to you, like singing, like, and now he a whole pimp out here.
But he kind of been a pimp though. 24 karat magic. Come on.
Yeah, but no, you have you heard his
I didn't. I haven't.
New music is like
Silk Sonic music.
Like it's like, hey, like you need to have somebody as fly as me.
Okay.
Like I'm so fly, I need you to be like you deserve somebody as fly as me. I'm like, okay.
Look, Bruno Mars said he a dangerous man with some money in his pocket. Keep up. But yeah, so that's kind of where I would. So with Usher, like I like him. I like he got me good music. He was singing some of the hits, and it was a good a good performance. It wasn't bad.
So were you okay? I always called Kansas City as the winner of the game. Like,
I knew they was gonna win too. I was actually rooting for the underdog though.
You was rooting for but
I rooted for the underdog.
But actually Kansas City was the underdog because they had 49ers up by 2 points, winning by 2 points.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so
okay, so I didn't know that. I just I knew that Mahomes is, you know, he beat Mahomes, and so that that young man is so special.
Had a squad this year.
Yeah, and then my grandson, he's a Chiefs fan.
Okay,
and so like as soon as the game was over, he called, like we was calling each other, you know, and then so he hit me up, and he was in his wild stage. Wow, because the way it ended.
Oh, I mean, it couldn't listen. It ended amazing.
It was
because you kind of
got your money worth. If you paid them $8,000-9,000 for them tickets, they gave you a show for sure.
Oh, and then for my auntie text is like, when this game gonna be over? I went to sleep twice, and I woke up, and it's still on.
And the game's still on. Oh my God. Yeah, it was. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. They gave you your money worth for real, man. So it was a good game. Shout out to them. Congratulations to Valdez Scantling and the whole team, man. Appreciate y'all and what y'all do for the culture and the entertainment arena.
And now they're finna go to they're gonna try to. They already talking about their third ring.
Oh, okay. Going back.
Yeah, they got 2 in a row.
The dynasty. So that make like number 5, I think, right?
They've been to the Super Bowl 5 times.
Okay.
And I know they have at least 3 rings within the last 5 years.
So we can say the Chiefs is a dynasty then.
Yeah. They're doing their thing. And you know what? They showed Taylor Swift. But when I saw it, they ain't show her overpowering the game.
Yeah, they kept flashing over there to her as well. All right, cool. So yeah, just what's good real quick. I want to give a shout out to the folks who came. Last week we had a food pantry collaborative meeting. And so what we've been doing is working to bring together the food pantry managers and these unsung community heroes. And we all met last week at the Sanderson Center. And just want to let them know that we appreciate their passion, their insights, and the commitment that was made for us to really unite to address some of the challenges that we having with food insecurity. And so just want to give a shout out and celebrate those unsung heroes, man, making a difference every day, putting meals in people's homes, man, boxes of food in people's trunks. So we had a great turnout. It was Daystar, United Way, the New Creation Church, the Gathering of Women, Story 727, Ebenezer Church, Feed St. Pete, Bethel Metropolitan Church, the Sanderson Center, and Positive Impact all made it to the Food Pantry Collaborative meeting. And we're going to meet again in March to really put the skin on the bones and talk about what's possible, man. But I definitely want to give a shout out to them for responding to the call because we wanted to, you know, see how we can maximize the impact of these pantries, because you got some that's doing 20 meals a week and some doing all the way up to like 600 meals. And so just trying to learn from each other and see, you know, what some of the highlights are, what they're doing right, and some of the things that they
pros and the cons.
Pros and cons. Yep. And I mean, it was some amazing connections that was being made, because like some people were saying, well, we don't get meat. And the other was like, well, we got freezers full of meat. And so I was like, okay,
let's talk about it. Let's switch it out.
We ain't got transportation. And like, okay, well, we got box trucks. We can, you know, partner. So it was really great. I mean, everything that we wanted to have happen not everything, but a lot of what we want
but
to have happen.
That's how it's supposed to be, because like, again, Pinellas County, anywhere you go, is big enough that you can have multiple people doing the same thing, because it's impossible for one person to touch everybody. So if you can, team up and get it done, it's amazing. So
Tony Wells is good, man.
Kudos, and more kudos. It's supposed to rain today.
Okay, that's bringing in the cold front too, they said. School board member Eben, thank you for tuning in.
Good morning.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I heard that too, but I don't,
It's supposed. So okay, excited about
all my stuff is inside.
All your stuff is inside.
Yeah,
I'm in the car for the majority part of it today.
I don't like driving in the rain though.
So let's see. I'm gonna be in the car for at least, once I leave here, at least to like 12 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm leaving here. I got a 9:30, and then it's just back to back today.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like I got
a little gap, but then it's gonna be back to back. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy week, crazy week.
Mm-hmm. And you got collard greens after dark on Thursday.
Okay.
I mean on Friday night at the Cuban Club in Ybor City.
Okay.
That should be pretty dope. And then we have the Collard Green Festival on Saturday from 9 to 5, which should be like, I'm so excited about like the Collard Green Festival, not only with the Collard Green cook-off. Every year they kind of went into like having kid chefs do stuff. So they have like a kid chef that has like samples of what they made. I think it's like a collard green ravioli or something, I think, or stuffed collard. I don't know. But I heard, but
the radio audience can't see my face.
But they can't. But it's like every time.
But I'm like looking over the top of my glasses, trying to figure out
collard green cornbread. Like these kids are like really creative.
I guess.
What they can do with it. So I'm excited to taste all of that.
Yeah. Hosted by
Damian Davis and
wait, hold on, back up. Hosted by who?
Damian, comedian.
There we go.
Damian Davis and Kiara.
Okay, that's what's up.
So we got two hosts.
Nice.
We got Gibbs High School Band. They're gonna be out there. They're gonna walk down there. We got Healing Fire.
Oh yeah,
so they're gonna come out there and kick it off. We have a gospel choir. They're gonna come in right after Healing Fire. I have Maya, who is an opera singer. We got Al Downing, jazz.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna be out there. We have Crystal. We have D Spade. We have Naja. Monet. We got Cheyenne.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's gonna be an amazing lineup. As you start to say it, like it started to just roll out. Like it started a little slow and then boom.
And then we got, like I said, we got yoga, we got line dancing. So
it's gonna be a bunch of activities.
Yes, you'll be able to like get your workout on.
Is that Natasha doing the line dancing?
Yeah. And they have like a setup for a couple of hours where they'll just kind of switch out.
Okay.
So we got a DJ. We have different DJs. We got like 4 DJs that'll be out there. So each section will have their own DJ. Tons of food, so you will not miss out on food, because we got a lot of food vendors.
Okay.
A lot of different services that'll be out there. So like come on out.
And the streets be blocked off. It's like that whole corner. Like I remember, like really taking over the Deuces, man.
Yes, it is.
Nice. Well, that's what's up.
Yeah. So be ready for the Collard Green Festival.
And then Fusion 49th Street District is moving forward. We're doing a community cleanup on March the 2nd at 9 a.m. And we'll be meeting at the Gulfport Neighborhood Center, I think. If not there, to be at the Trolley Market Square, where that big, right there on 18th Avenue, where the big Welcome to Gulfport sign is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be on 49th Street on March the 2nd, and we're inviting the community to come out and help us, do a neighborhood cleanup. Really along that corridor. We're partnering with Keep Pinellas Beautiful. We got the mayors coming out from both cities. So we're going to have, we're trying to keep this fusion vibe. So really the collaboration between Gulfport, St. Pete. And so now we have the mayors on board. And so Sam Henderson and Mayor Ken Welch will actually be participating. Me and Ian O'Hara, he's an accomplice at this point. Me and Councilmember O'Hara, we've been doing like a lot together. We meeting tomorrow with Duke Energy to talk about power lines and some different stuff that we want to do on the corridor. So y'all come out on March the 2nd to the Fusion 49th Street District neighborhood cleanup. And then we'll be putting more information out about that as well. elections coming up. And so I want to run through some of these dates, man, and just let y'all know that it's going to be important for us to get engaged. What you hearing about the election? How you feeling about 2024 and this electoral cycle?
I know it's gonna be a big election, right?
The biggest election of our lifetime. We say that every election.
No,
right?
I mean, but this is a little bit. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you, I think that they're starting. Like I would think that most people would already had started.
Okay.
Doing with their campaigning and stuff like that. So they're starting off kind of slow for me.
Okay. Gotcha. I got you.
And I think they're gonna pile everybody up like at the last minute.
And then we start to see these ads and all that. You see the campaign ads. Fancy Nancy, good morning. Yeah, you see the
good morning, Michelle.
You see the all of the campaign ads and the different, because it's like a lot of seats too. So you got like 4 city council seats, 1, 3, 5, and 7, and then you got county commission is up, and then like you got some Senate seats, and then of course the presidential election. But what we want to do is let y'all know that the presidential preference primary and municipal elections on March 19th, 2024. The registration deadline is coming up. Actually, it's February 20th. February 19th is President's Day, so they moved it. It's usually like that Monday, but because it's President's Day, they moved it and gave an extra day. And then early voting for the presidential preference primary will be March 9th through the 17th. And then you'll be able to do that Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can actually post this schedule on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page. And then when you get into August, the actual primary election is August the 20th. And registration deadline for the primary is July 22nd. And then early voting will be August 10th through the 18th. And then, of course, the general election is November 5th. And so make sure that you, if you haven't registered, make sure that you register. And then there's also some shenanigans that came out of the state with the mail ballots. They changed it, like what you said. Everybody has to get a mail ballot. Have to request a mail ballot. Miss Pauline, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. So mail ballots effective December 31st, 2022. All mail ballot requests on file expired per Florida law. So if you had a mail ballot on request as of December 22, it expired. So please see the options that you have by going to votepinellas.com. And if you're registered to the vote, any registered voter may vote by mail. Vote by mail requests remain active through the calendar year of the next regularly scheduled general election. In other words, mail ballot requests are good for 2 years. But you got to do it now though, because they all expired.
So this is what I say: be a good neighbor.
Yeah.
If you know anybody elderly who typically do not go, and you think that they get a mail-in ballot, stop by their house and ask them, and maybe help them out, because everybody is not computer savvy,
right? And most of it is online.
And so you want to make sure that they do it, because it used to be Democrats used to outnumber Republicans here in the state of Florida as registered voters. Not anymore.
Okay.
And now I want to say it's a big gap at this point. It used to not be, but it's a huge gap.
Yeah, let's take a look. I'll look at it.
It's in the sevens. It's something.
Okay,
I was,
but we need to tighten up if you're a Democrat. Yeah. That's speaking to the Democrats.
Or who, and it's not saying that, but a lot of people will register independent.
Okay.
And then if you're registering independent, that you cannot vote in the primary.
That's the other thing. One of the deadlines that was mentioned was that if you want to change your party affiliation to be able to vote in the primary, there's a deadline coming up for that, but I didn't track it. I don't have that deadline.
We're gonna get it for you and let you know. But yeah, if you want to vote in the primaries, you can change your party affiliation for that, so that you can vote. Primaries again is done in August, and then you go into the general election.
Right.
So just FYI, we'll be trying to give you all the information you need for this coming election
Absolutely.
as much as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, make sure that you register, do your civic duty, because voting matters. If it didn't, they wouldn't be trying to stop us from doing it. So it's very important that we participate in the electoral process, y'all.
And we got the grandpas out here fighting it out.
Tell me, what's happening with the grandpas?
Trump and Biden.
Oh my God, them great grandpas.
Yeah,
man.
They out here ready to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They out here ready to duke it out. I can't even imagine that. I've seen some videos of like old men trying to fight each other, and then they swing. Oh man, it's gonna be a trip.
Yeah, so this is gonna be this is a different election. You know
it
what
is.
I mean?
It is.
There's energy, then it's not energy. It's
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like
like I think I don't see a lot of people being inspired to participate. Like people who do participate, like you're gonna do it because you used to doing it. This is part of your.
This is what you know.
Yeah,
this is what you do.
But I don't see anything that's driving new voters and people to be like, you know what? Okay, I didn't think about voting, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna go do it.
No, because what I'm seeing and hearing, most people really don't. Not most, but a vast majority of people like it is what it is. Kinda. And it's really hard.
And that ain't the way to be.
And it's hard, and this is true. And I'm speaking for Keon. It's hard to go out there and convince people.
Maria, good morning.
You know what I mean? And give them the points on why you can when you know what I mean, when I'm looking at the stuff as well.
I mean, when you start thinking nationally, sure. But like statewide, state of Florida is in a crazy spot too. And we're gonna highlight some of the stuff in the days ahead. But yeah, they doing some crazy things with these laws in Florida, man. And so like, we need to really participate and get involved in the Florida state elections as well.
And the best thing that probably could have happened is DeSantis stayed in the race.
Okay.
Because he couldn't focus on Florida.
Now he back home.
Now he home.
Mad.
And all he can do is like focus.
He mad.
Yeah. I'm gonna get all his stuff
he came back home and kicked the dog. Bam, get out of here.
Yeah. Because if he would have stayed in the race, he really
he'd have been distracted and not been able to focus on.
But all he got is right now.
It's his home state that and he really is trying to do some crazy stuff in the state of Florida. So I put out a question on social media and it got a lot of traction, a lot of responses. And what I was asking was, did you ever experience hatred internally or externally because of your physical characteristics, like your nose, your lips, your hair texture, complexion, etc.? And then how did you overcome it? And it was in the context of how we deal with the stereotypes of, growing up, how they was saying that, black, this was before the Black is Beautiful spaces. And how people, colorism and all of that stuff. And so I was just wondering if you had any experiences with like being teased or dealt with anything like that around physical characteristics.
So I have, right?
Okay.
Which is crazy, and I hate it. And you know what I used to get a lot of times, like even when I used to go out, like guys would try to talk to me, and then when they see my face, they be like, "Oh, you're a pretty black."
Okay.
And I'm like, can't be pretty.
Yeah.
Like I used to get and I'm still
pretty for a dark skinned chick. Yeah. Like dark skinned chicks can't be pretty.
Yeah, I used to get that all the time. Oh, you're pretty black. Oh, pretty black, come on over here. Oh no, I want that pretty black one right there. And I'm like, wait, hold on. God. Like I used to get that now. Now
how did that affect you?
To be honest, I'm so glad my foundation is that like I never really had this thing about colorism for myself. Yeah. That like I felt like I've always felt like my skin was pretty.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean? So I've never been like, oh.
Yeah.
It might have been one point where I might have I can't even think of
how about like hair and all of that stuff.
So then you go in there. I've always had a head full of hair.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I never really like for me.
I got you. Yeah, because we had some comments, man. Like I said, a lot of people were sharing some real powerful testimonies about it. And since they posted them on social media, I want to read a couple of them. So we had Miss Teresa Jones, she says, sadly, my own siblings used to call me Blackie. And as a person who was born in the early 50s, I recall being told that I was too dark to wear bright colors, red, orange, and yellow. However, my mama used to tell me the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Okay.
Yep. And as a teenager who grew up in the 60s, I witnessed the emergence of the civil rights movement. And I heard songs like James Brown's song, I'm Black and I'm Proud. And I began to fully embrace my pigmentation. Later, I actually began to refer to myself as the beautiful black one amongst family members. And she has a niece that she says that still refers to her as that. But she dealt with it, growing up as well.
When you say that, I've been told that, like, oh, you can't wear certain colors, like hair colors.
But because you're dark,
right?
Yeah.
But if you know me, I done wore every color.
You have,
and I done been
and did,
and I think I looked good with.
yeah, that's right, and that's all that matters, right?
Like, cause you'll hear people, like, I was showing somebody a picture of me in some color. They was like, oh, that ain't really your color. And I was like, that's fine. I got a whole bunch of compliments. You're entitled to your, what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you kind of keep, but so when you say that, my grandmother was light skinned, right?
Okay.
But she was considered as the black one in her family. They used to call her Blackie.
And she was light skinned.
Yeah, she was just one. She was the darkest out of her siblings.
Okay. And then the other side of that too, Ed Brunson, he responded when I asked the question. He said, absolutely. It affected me until a conversation with Peggy Peterman at 16 years old. He said, I struggled with my light skin complexion, not fitting in with black people. My spot in the black community, not living in South St. Pete, being young, black, artistic, and articulate. But Miss Peterman took me on a walk during a rehearsal break at the Black History Pageant. Shout out to the Black History Pageant. And she said, baby, you understand that it's okay to not be like the other kids. God made you to be unique and has a very special place for you in the world. Stay with him and he'll take you places that you never dreamed of. And whenever he said he was feeling out of place, he learned and leaned on that advice. And so the poster actually covered a lot of different parts of the spectrum. You had some people talked about the struggles that they had with, being light skinned.
Right.
And then some with being dark. And like I talked about how they used to pick on me because of my nose. I guess I grew into it, but I used to get picked on. And then I didn't really realize that it was a thing until like middle school. And then I'm like, okay, all right, well, whatever.
Beyonce say she like her man
with a Negro nose.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I think we deal with it across the board, and you think somebody else has it easier than others, right? Remember when light skinned guys was in, and they say dark skinned guys wasn't?
Yeah.
And then dark skinned
Wesley Snipes, the Wesley Snipes era came, and then not dark skinned guys are
then
cool.
You had your Denzels, but your Shamar Moores and all, everybody. So I think everybody deal with insecurities across the board,
right?
And
colorism is what they was calling it.
Yeah. Well, but when you look at it, like it was, you always wish at one point in time you had something that you don't have.
Right.
You can, you know what I mean? So
do you think that's still prevalent? Do people still like deal with that? Like colorism is still a thing?
I think it's still a thing.
Okay.
I definitely think it's still a thing. And and we have to be careful sometimes. Remember the ad that came out with Gap, and the little girl had her natural hair, but it was really tight. It wasn't, and everybody was like, why would you let her come out there? Like, why wouldn't you fix her hair? And even we said it, and we had to sit back as a culture and be like, oh, we're giving her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, this is her break. She's on an ad, and now you
and we're talking about her hair,
right?
And saying that it should have been basically slicked down, the edges should have been smoother, and all this other stuff. But we want people to embrace who they are.
Absolutely.
And so, have you ever seen
Maria? She said, Maria Marshall says, I've been judged for being the lightest complected in my family. I was picked on for my softer hair. It still affects me in relationships, especially since moving south. Yeah, and I think down south it is worse, maybe.
It may be because I have a girlfriend too that's lighter, and like she feels like she always has to prove her black. Like, I'm black, like, because people think she mixed.
Okay,
and she's like, no,
I'm black.
Oh, you call her? Oh, it's like a thing. Like, she's like, no, like both of my parents are black, and I am black. but she's light skinned with curly hair. Like,
Wow.
you know what I mean? And so when she comes in the room, she's, you know, so
Mhm.
I think it is because most people are, when you learn to love who you are,
Yeah.
you want people to know that you black, because being black is such a beautiful thing.
Right.
Regardless of what color you
These
are.
days.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, because I remember the days of, you know, being called the African booty scratcher and it's so black, you like you from Timbuktu. I remember they used to be talking,
Yeah,
you know.
you so black, you purple.
Right. Yeah. Like, for real. Like Midnight Black. I remember them dark skin jokes and all of that stuff too, man. So yeah, but we want to we can continue the conversation after the break if you like. But I think it was helpful for people to share their experiences because we had some people on the post, particularly some white folks who were like, man, this should be required reading because I think there's a lot of people who don't know about these experiences and what, you know, our community deals with internally and externally.
But you see, they deal even in the Spanish community.
Okay.
You see the whiter Hispanics treat the darker Hispanics different.
Everywhere.
You know, so
everywhere.
It is everywhere. But we're gonna have to take a quick break.
Yep.
Stay tuned, tag a friend, tell a friend. Is Money Motivating Monday. Make you move, whatever you want.
Make it happen, yeah.
All of that stuff.
Move your body, all that good stuff.
Yes. So here, stay tuned. We shall be back.
Bye.
Just like that.
We back.
We're back. Yeah.
Yeah, we back. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
This is Kiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That?
See That.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
smart
is
the new
gangsta, baby. And if you don't know,
now you know.
No.
Yeah.
So welcome back, y'all. We was at before the hour, before the break, we talked about some community events, a lot of the things that's going on in the community, great stuff that's going down. The Collard Green Festival this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got some neighborhood cleanups and all of that good stuff that's coming your way. And so y'all go back and review that. And we was also talking about colorism and just the experiences that some of our community members have with colorism, and really just that internalized, what we call self-hatred.
It is, because hair is a big thing.
Yeah.
Hair is a
nappy hair was
right.
Now it's natural.
Now it's natural. And then and you see, I stayed away from calling the little girl hair nappy.
Yeah.
And I was like tight coral.
Okay.
Or, you know what I mean?
But is nappy a negative term?
So I'm going to tell you, it's so hard.
Okay.
To describe it, because we have a community that's sensitive about everything you say.
True. So can we just say the views expressed? Yeah,
the views expressed. Because then people be like, why did you say that? Why do you say you have good hair? What is good hair? Oh, what is nappy hair? You know, that is coarse, coarse and thick. And, like you hear, it's so, this society, and I was on everything. Forget just your hair, your color.
Right.
You can't say nothing. You can't even call a shirt burgundy. You be like, nah.
Because we argue about everything.
Yeah.
It's maroon.
Yeah. Or you just offended by everything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you can't, you can't, it's so, there's almost impossible for you to be politically correct.
Yeah.
Because somebody, like if you call somebody a small person, what's a small person?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like I mean? You can't say midgets no more.
Right.
Like, that's a thing.
And like, who would know that midgets
was a derogatory term?
So legally I'm not a midget, but then I may be because I'm 4'11", and then.
So what's the cutoff for being a midget?
Under 5 foot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that could have changed.
Okay.
That could have changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But midget is not the term. It's little people now.
Right.
Yeah.
And so and you
Mel's good.
And
Chef
so
Mel.
I used to make jokes about myself. I'll be like, I'm the center of the basketball team, of the midget basketball team. You know what I mean?
Because you're the tallest out of the short ones. Yeah.
So,
oh, man.
I can't say that anymore. So you sit up here, you think like, dang, we have a society that is so sensitive about everything. And we want everybody to embrace their beauty, because I'm finna tell you, there's beauty in everything.
Right.
You just got to find your tribe and your market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's diamonds. So there's high quality diamonds, and then there's some that's not. But somebody loved the $100 diamond.
Yes.
And somebody want that $15,000 diamond. Right.
Right.
But regardless.
But if you're not a diamond connoisseur, you're going to be able to tell the difference between the two.
And somebody may treat that $100 diamond better than that $15,000 diamond. You just got to find your market. Find your tribe.
Find your tribe. Find your tribe. No, I hear that all the way through and through. Through and through. That's what's up. So we're going to continue the conversation, but it was another, and then you got the, what made me think about, I thought about it while we was on the break, the natural hair show. That's coming up, I think, in March.
Okay.
And remember we had Marcina Dowdell came in and she talked about it last year, and it was like a huge success, because now the culture is beginning to celebrate, our natural characteristics.
Now I'm going to tell you here, natural hair.
Okay.
Is expensive. And yes, I had to pop.
You did.
I had to pop.
Loud and clear. Natural hair is expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah. So, everybody used to get perms, right?
Yep.
And then they be like, they call it the creamy crack.
Okay.
Right? And so you went in there, you want your hair straight. And the crazy part is I'm wearing my hair straight now. I'm still natural.
Okay.
And I used to wouldn't straighten my hair at all.
So what you just do the hot comb like how Big Mama used to do?
It was a hot comb and a press.
Okay.
It's a whole process. It's a process to get straight.
To get natural hair to go straight.
I can't speak for nobody else, but for mine, and to keep it straight.
Yeah. Because you mess around and wet it.
No, you would mess around and go outside.
And you don't even gotta wet it.
Oh yeah, you don't even gotta wet it. You just go outside and it starts to expand.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a whole process. But
I got you.
I love the one thing is about the natural process. I love my curls. I love to play with them and finding the products, but these products are not cheap.
Right. Right.
So when they realize everybody started to embrace they natural. It's
a market, like a huge market for that. Mm-hmm. And then they started grading it and saying you got different types.
A, B, C, D, E,
F, G. You know your type?
No, 4C. No.
You don't know your
No, I don't.
What category of natural
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. You ain't going that far.
No. Yeah. I mean, but we talked about it. You look at it when you're looking at hairstyles, mm-hmm. and they be like, okay, I have a CA grade or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that look like my texture, so let's try this style to see if it's gonna be popping.
Okay, and if it work, it work, and mm-hmm. if it don't, it don't.
Yeah. So
no, yeah, I hear that. All right, so it's Black History Month, y'all. Mm-hmm. And I also posted this. Oh, we got a caller. But yeah, during Black History Month, Black history is celebrated 365 days a year. So it's more for others.
Hello, caller. Introduce yourself.
This is the host of the Collard Green Festival.
Right.
Comedian Damian Davis. What's going on, players?
What's good with you? What's good with you, man?
Talk to me. Hey, I was talking to y'all because I heard y'all talking about natural hair is expensive. You not lying, Keanu. Because when I was growing up, I wore my hair natural. My mama had to buy countless of brush, get the Afro comb with the cyst on there.
Yeah, we had that.
All that.
Yep.
It's definitely expensive. I'm trying to tell you, my hair be so natty, it's standing alone and look like football practice, a dirty tennis ball or something like that.
Wait, Damien, you got Dacom? You comb one nap and Dacom another one?
Yeah, my hair so bad, is out there committing crime in the streets.
Good Lord. Like you had a good weekend, man.
Yeah, man, I had two sold-out shows. It was love because a lot of my peers came up to Osmar and followed me and came up there and checked back. Mm-hmm. And the people I didn't even know checked back, so it was great. I'm honored and happy to be able to do this Collard Green Festival this week. I'm excited. I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Okay.
It's gonna be lit, man.
For y'all. Okay.
It's gonna be lit.
Man. Who y'all went for yesterday in the Super Bowl? Who y'all wanted to win?
I went for KC.
Yeah, I was rooting.
Oh, Lord.
I was rooting for the 49ers, but I mean, I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad that KC won, but I was rooting for the 49ers though.
Yeah. Well, one thing we ain't got to worry about. Patrick Mahomes ain't got no bad hair. He's the only black person I know that got light. He don't got bad hair, but his daddy got bad hair. You seen his mustache? He got a fresh mustache.
Oh, man, you crazy.
On that note, you have a great morning.
We're going to see you this week.
Hey, I love y'all, man.
Love you too, baby. All right. Comedian Damian Davis, y'all. Oh, man.
We can always count on him to give us a good laugh, right?
Yes.
Always. Thanks for the stars.
Yeah, appreciate that, y'all. You continue to support the broadcast and support the program because this is community radio, y'all. So we don't get like a whole lot of corporate sponsorships. And so we really relying on listeners like you to keep the doors open, lights on, and hear these quality programs that we putting out. And so you can give stars or you can go to 99jamstheberg.com if you'd like to donate and contribute to the work that we're doing here in community radio. So y'all continue to support it. The Black Church.
Okay.
All right. I want to talk about the Black Church a little bit.
All right. Let's talk about it. Right, so, I don't know where you're going with it, but
that's usually how it happened anyway, right? All right. So with the Black Church. So the Black Church has played a crucial and multifaceted role in the struggle for liberation and civil rights for Black Americans throughout history. Its significance goes beyond a place of worship, and it has been a center for community organizing, social justice advocacy, and a source of strength and resilience for African Americans. I want to know, do you think that the Black church is still playing a key role in the movement for Black liberation in the struggle?
Mm.
And if so, what role do you see them playing? Right?
There's because people have gotten away from the church.
Yeah.
You don't see as many people at church as you used to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the church bus picked us up every Sunday.
Okay.
You know, you had when they did, what is it like doing?
I remember getting on the bus too. They used to take us way out there to Pinellas Park. It was a bus that used to come, and they would pick us up, and we would go to this church out in Pinellas Park. I remember I got baptized, and we used to go because they had like snacks and food and stuff. I wasn't going. Like,
so I went to.
I was just going to get the snacks.
It was so much that the church offered.
Yeah.
Growing up, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Pleasant Grove, and I also went to Prayer Tower.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So them like big churches in St. Pete history.
So,
that was Reverend Gordon that
Gordon.
That was my mother-in-law's church, and my wife, their family was they were Pleasant Grove members.
And Welch was at
Prayer Tower.
At Prayer Tower.
Yep.
So Brainstorm Dad.
Okay.
It was actually our driver for Prayer Tower. The church bus to come pick you up.
Okay, gotcha.
Was
that before they moved to 37th? Because they on 37th.
Oh, yeah, no. That was why they was at 37th.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah,
because one of the things I think with the history of Prayer Tower is they might have been over in the somewhere around the gas plant area, and then they got relocated. So as a part of that as well, I think. Bethel Metropolitan was one of those churches that got moved out of gas plant, and then they relocated over there off of 26. So
we did it during the summers.
Yeah,
they used to have the week where you went to church during the summer with the kids.
The Bible school, like kind of the vacation camp,
vacation Bible study.
Yeah.
Right. And we did that for the whole week, and I don't see kids doing that anymore.
Yep.
Sunday,
you think about it,
Sunday school, you had to get ready for Sunday school. Even if you, so the one thing is, even if you didn't go to church, like let's say, you're going to Sunday school.
Yeah.
Because that's when you actually sat and learned about the Bible and all that other stuff. So I don't really see that anymore.
Yeah.
Y'all talk to me. Let me know if that's still really
They're still doing Bible school, and our children still going. Because I remember, now that you say that, I'm thinking of a few that I went to. I remember the one they used to take us to in Pinellas Park. Mm-hmm. Then I remember going to Southside Tabernacle for one, right there on 18 across from C&J. Mm-hmm. I remember going there and learning, like Bible studies. And then also Rock of Jesus. It wasn't Rock of Jesus then. It was something else. But I remember going to that church as well.
And you used to do the sleep-ins. The girls sleep on one side of the church.
I wasn't there that long.
Yeah, no, but
I ain't spend the night.
No, I done spent.
You spent the night at the church?
Yes.
Oh.
The girls slept on this side. The guys slept on the other side. You say,
It's time for me to go. I'm calling my mama.
Look, my mama knew I was at. And then they could be out in the community. You used to do community events. I think what happens is that people got turned off. The judgment.
Like something happened because the church was like the spiritual center. So it served us like a spiritual place, providing solace and strength for African Americans, like their religious teachings and all of that stuff that was going on at the time. It was a space for community organizing. So when you look at like Dr. King and what they did, the churches provided that space for, him and other Black clergy to assemble and meet and really, also it was like a space for education. Like that was where you would learn, your Black history, and you would learn your culture, and you learn, different things was a part of like those church experiences. And I'm not in church enough to know.
And that's what I say. I'm not in church enough to know. Like I will go to church.
Right.
But when you start,
I visit, but I'm like not a part of a church, so I don't know what, why people are not going.
I can only say why I don't go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why you don't go? And the church lady gonna be like, where you been, Kiana? Why you ain't coming to church?
I just found myself in another realm where I definitely believe, but I found myself not wanting to be put in a box.
Yeah.
And I felt like it started division in our community.
Okay.
When like if you're at this church and that church, and I'm all about unity and finding your peace and what makes you tick.
Right.
I'm one of the people I believe that there's no right or wrong religion. As long as you're doing good,
right,
and it's leading you to be a better person, because we all take different paths to get to the same location. Like even to this radio station,
right.
we take different paths to get here. So I don't think that there's one path that you have to take to get to God.
Right.
You just got to take the path that gets you there.
Yeah, what works for you. Maria, like she lit up on this one. I wish you would just call in. Maria, 727-637-2416, because she got a lot on this one. She said some are trying, others are focusing on trying to focus on the people. Objectively, they assist people within their organization or people affiliated with their within their organization. I found that to be the case too. Like in some churches, like you have to be a member of the church in order to really get the benefits of membership. I'll give you an example. When my mother-in-law passed, and we were looking for a church, like it was churches that were like, if she wasn't a member here, then they wouldn't do the service, and then or if she wasn't a member, it was like some exorbitant cost. But then we talked to Pastor Carlos Sr., and he was like, "Man, come on, man." Like, come on, man. But like it was,
and that's how it should be, because it's
like,
about the community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's so many, and I think but the church is a business. When you said like
the church is a business, huh?
I mean, they got
in the business of saving souls. Is that look? You say,
But you want me to tell you is when I think what people got discouraged to is when they started seeing the contradictions.
Okay. Yeah.
And then so
I think they've always existed, but then when you got old enough to not go no more, then you just stopped going.
And then we were in a space too.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Introduce yourself.
Good morning, it's Yubi. How y'all doing?
Good morning,
what's
Yubi.
Good. We talking about the black church.
They gonna kill me for this, but I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
The church ripped us off, man. Cut it out. The church ripped us off.
Okay.
This why the church ripped us off. I'm just fast math, make you think. Any church, any weekend, you can gather that they get at least $2,000 a weekend. That's about a couple bucks. Do 2,000 times 4, that's $8,000 a month. 8 times 12, that's $96,000 a year.
Okay.
But we still need a building fund, and we still got to have a fish fry when grandma died, when your people died, when all this here. But they paid their tithes every month and paid their tithes every weekend, but they can't come in there and get no help for their light bill or water bill.
Yeah.
And you seen this happen.
Wait, they paid for to have a wedding there. They paid to have a ceremony there. They paid to have all of this, the church collecting this much money.
Yeah.
And now you can go through any neighborhood and you got thousands of churches everywhere, hundreds and hundreds of churches. These are Southside churches we got.
Okay.
But now, say Brother John or Brother Carter or Brother this started a concrete company. They couldn't go get a loan. But now the church will take that money and put it inside of a bank account, and that bank will loan money to some other communities that's not in that neighborhood.
Right.
That's why the church ripped us off, because we don't come together collectively. What we should do, all of these churches, we should come to collectively and say, hey, we represent X amount of dollars, and we're not going to deposit our money into your bank if you're not going to loan to our parishioners and our business.
That's right.
Agreed.
That's right.
Or we'll start our own bank.
Yeah.
And the church ripped us off because the misunderstanding is everybody's for self, not for us.
I hear that.
I'm going with that.
I hear you. Just drop the mic, Yubi. There is a group. It's the Collective Empowerment Group of Tampa Bay. And that's what they're working to do. It is like exactly what Yubi said. And Imam Askia is the one who introduced me to it. I still, like, I'm on the email list, but I haven't been in a while. But I remember when they were forming the Collective Empowerment Group of Tampa Bay. Y'all can check them out. Like Google it and it should come up, but it's Collective Empowerment Group of Tampa Bay, and their mission is to take the churches and do exactly what he's saying. It's like you look at churches in the area saying, okay, we're going to all meet up, pool our resources, and then identify a bank. Because right now, if you got 10 churches, they probably using 7 different banks.
And millions of dollars is going in.
And so he's saying, take these 10 churches. I'm just using that because it's easy math. You take these 10 churches and you pool your resources. And then as 10 churches, you go to one bank and then says, these are the terms and conditions of us, depositing our resources with your bank. It's like you have, you need to be making loans. You need to be doing things for our community. And so they do have a group called the Collective Empowerment Group of Tampa Bay. I know they've been meeting probably about 6 or 7 years now, but I'm not sure what the status of the work that they're doing. But they are moving in that direction because, like, we've had these conversations, and like I hear you loud and clear. You be like, we put a lot of money in banks, and it leaves our community and doesn't come back to us.
And not even that. When you be say like you pay your tithes, you pay that, and you've seen, and not all churches because we don't subscribe to all. Here, you can't go and get money, you know what I mean, from your church,
right?
You know what I mean. And then when you're down and out, and then you think,
do they really have the money though? Because I mean, you think about
some small churches don't.
They really don't have
it. Some don't, and some do.
They might be hand over fist in a lot of these churches because you got like you think about like your light bill for your house, and you think about what it costs to keep that AC running in a 10,000 square foot building. Like it's a lot. I think it's expensive to to operate and run a church, so they may not have it.
They may, and they may not.
Or they may just be getting by. I don't think like they up to the degree where they can just start paying everybody's bills.
But everybody's bills don't need to be paid.
Okay. Uh-oh. Hot take.
No, I'm just saying everybody's bills don't need to be paid.
Yeah.
And you got to think a lot of people at one point believe so much that they will spend their last to give to the church instead of being that, because
instead of paying their bills.
Because this is their belief is that they're going to be taken care of because they paid their tithes. You don't pay your tithe, and
then you won't be blessed.
And then now you're out.
I thank God for my Captain Samuel. I actually just posted a picture of Captain Sam, and he was one of my mentors when I first joined the nation, and we had a similar conversation, and he said, "Listen, don't you give your last to this organization if you really need it, because you saying, I'm going to give my last and God's going to bless me." Mm-hmm. Captain Sam said, "Look, he already blessed you with it. Now you go pay the bill that you got to pay because you've been blessed to be able to have them. Like you thinking that you're going to give it and it's going to multiply and get back tenfold and all of that. And meantime, your lights getting turned off at your house." He said, "Boy, you better go pay your bill."
Because God's given you that to make sure that you paid it, but then everybody doesn't preach or teach that way.
Yeah, he told us straight up.
And this is why, when we're talking about it, why people went from the church, because people get discouraged.
Yeah, because they saying give it to, you can give your last and God's gonna bless you, and he really would. But the way I was taught, if you got it and you got a bill to pay. Pay that bill because the fact that you have it right now is the blessing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That might be some money. That might be the blessing that you got from back before.
Right.
And now you got it to pay it this time. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, you'd be crazy to give your money to this organization and now 3 weeks later your lights off and you had the money to pay it. He was like, don't do that.
And we challenge.
That's how I was taught.
Good morning, Mom.
And that was part of why I stayed too, because I ain't hear nobody else talking like that. Everybody else was like, yeah, give the money, God gonna bless you.
So I remember growing up, it was a guy stayed down the street. He was in the church, a deacon, all this stuff.
Right.
He lost his vision. He was a barber. Like his vision. So, he lost the way that he can make his money. He had to redo it.
Right.
And the church ended up coming like, "Hey, yo, you ain't been here. Where's your tithe?" And he was like, "Wait, hold on. I've been." And
like what he been going through, yeah.
And he ended up becoming a Jehovah Witness after that. I want to say, just
he
because
just left,
he either became a Jehovah Witness or a Muslim. One of them.
Gotcha.
But he did, because it was just something like it wasn't about. No, he became a Jehovah Witness.
Okay.
That's what it was. So
because it wasn't about like serving the people, and it was like really about where you been and you ain't paid your tithes,
right? And he just
and then there's judgment associated with that.
And so there's so much when it comes to being a part of an organization, right?
Yeah.
a church or anything.
Yeah, you got to pay dues and memberships, and
so
it's a cost associated with it.
Pastors, or you want a pastor, come on in and let's sit down and talk about this.
Yeah,
and see where we could go. Because did you read the letter about the church that kicked the lady out?
No.
So just kind of make it real brief. A lady, the church sent her a letter and say, hey, listen, you didn't get it when we told you not to come back in November, kinda.
So wait, first they told her don't come back.
Like they told her like
she went back.
She sent her tithes in.
Okay.
Right. And then they wrote her a letter and was like, yo, at the church meeting, with heavy hearts.
Wait, I'm sorry.
No.
At the church meeting.
With heavy hearts,
that's
we had to come
thing,
up with
meetings.
here. And we're going to rescind your membership at the church. And these are the reasons why. One is you filed for divorce for not a good reason.
I saw the headline.
And we talked about this at Plug Report too.
Okay.
Church
in the street. Shout out to Bo. Yeah. Bishop Bo. Yeah. I like Bishop Bo's church in the street.
He's funny.
Yeah.
But you said you filed for divorce because you wanted to be with another man. You didn't care about your children or your husband. Number two, you post stuff on social media that's not church like. You're talking about the church members.
Okay.
Number three was, we offered counseling. Your husband wanted it. You refuse it. So, you say you're not hurt. We think you are. You need to find somewhere where it's better fit for you. And by the way, we thought it was in good faith that we give you. They sent her back her money.
Well, I ain't mad.
And to be honest,
how you mad with that?
I'm not mad.
They gave her a refund?
They gave her a refund. And then I said, honestly, and I know this may not be, we go to church. Where is the accountability?
Yeah.
And so I'm not up. I ain't
you
made her accountable. Y'all have rules because every church have their guidelines and their rules. You should make people stand by what you stand by.
I think if you when you join the church and you do the orientation, I think they give you what the expectations of their congregation are, and if you not meeting those expectations, then of course a conversation is had, and then you either correct it or you find you another group. Like that's any group though. That's not just a church. That's any group. Like, okay, this is our code that we follow as a group, as a collective or whatever. And if you break in the code, then it's some kind of action is taken.
Right.
I ain't mad at that.
No, I wasn't mad at it either.
Good morning, Sierra.
And it brought up a lot of controversy. Like, this is the church. Like, come as you are. But if you're not,
hold on, let me stop you there.
Go ahead.
Because this was my orientation. When I got to the mosque, they say, come as you are, but you can't stay like that. Like, what I mean? Like, there is an expectation that, okay, you come as you are, but there's some things that, is required.
You're supposed to let go.
Yes. Like, you can come as you are, but you can't stay that way.
And that's funny when you say that, because you look at that, like, when you single, you do one thing, but when you're in a relationship, you do another.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And then when you're married, you hold yourself to a whole nother standard.
It's a different standard, yeah.
You start to do it. When you get a job and you start out, they let you make mistakes at the beginning.
Yeah, but you got a probationary period, yeah.
And then once you hit that 90 days, it's something different.
Right.
And then once you get a promotion, they require more from you.
That's right.
And so I don't, when it sets, it's funny how people be like, oh, no, you shouldn't do that. So what are you there for if you're not there to grow?
Yeah, that's true. And I think maybe the challenge comes when you have people who are in leadership that are enforcing these standards on you, and they're not following the standards themselves. Like, that's when it becomes a problem, I think, as well, because like they're asking you not to do XYZ, but they doing XYZ element of P and everything else. Like, that becomes a problem, I think, just like the hypocrisy of it, where people use their leadership positions to put demands on you that they're not putting on themselves. And I've seen that. And that would cause people to be like, well, but then the other side of it is you're not there for them. You're there for yourself. And so, but that's when it get into like, you have to pick pick your struggle.
You pick your struggle. And I'm one of them people, I don't care if my pastor or, been through stuff. I prefer for you have.
How about if they're still going through stuff?
They're human.
Yeah. Because that's the whole thing too. Like, okay, everybody got a pass. Everybody did something before they got saved. But now if you still like in it, that's when people have a problem. Like I don't, because like, you know, I don't want you judging me based upon like how you perceive me. But you know what I mean? I mean, you ain't out here reckless and doing stuff, but you're not perfect.
You're not perfect.
And as long as you're striving, you know,
everybody falls short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But don't use that as an excuse to continue to be doing crazy stuff.
Right. Like, let's say, hey, I had a weak moment. Like, you know, everything was wrong. But every week
I've heard that so much.
But I had a weak moment. But every week shouldn't be a weak moment.
Every week. You got a weak moment every week.
Every week.
Yeah, we need to do
so you know what? I think you need
deeper dives.
I think you need to be demoted.
Okay. Yeah, you weak every week. That's a problem.
Because what happened? If your drawer comes short every week, you getting fired. You're getting fired.
That's one of the expectations.
You're getting fired. Like if you're a cashier, you know for sure that you're supposed to make sure your money on.
Yeah.
And some people don't even give you that grace period.
Renee, thank you.
You missed that one and you're cut.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
There's no, but I'm okay with giving people grace.
Yeah. Oh, Maria says a weak moment every week equals a choice and a decision. It's no longer a mistake now. It's like that's intentional. Yeah, no, I get that.
Say it's 52 weeks in a year.
and practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Like I think that's another one of the things that drives people away. We're talking about the church and why people don't attend. I think practicing what you preach is another one of those things that, you know, turns people off.
You know what also I've seen in there is when people are new.
Okay.
And then they completely cut off their old.
Yeah.
And there's no balance, right? And you hear them say, like, the light and the dark don't dwell together. You got to be one or the other.
You can't have one foot in the world and another one in the,
and I'll tell them,
kingdom.
And I tell them that the sunset and the sunrise, and that's when the light and the dark hit every day.
Yeah.
So there is a point. When they do.
Where the light mixes with the darkness. Yeah.
So don't think that you have to restrict yourself from one world to be a part of the other, because you still need it all.
Right. And that was, again, that was my experience. All I can talk about, because I've never really been a part or a member of a church. Like the only membership I had with organized religion was with the Nation of Islam and in the mosque. You know what I'm saying? And mosque is more than a religious experience. Like it's a whole cultural thing. You know what I mean? As far as the way that the nation is operated and the way we orient. And so when I came in, that was another one of the things. It was like, it wasn't cut yourself off from everybody. But what happened for me and for my family is once I started changing and I stopped doing the things that I was doing in what we call the world, like that was what bound me to a lot of people. Yeah. Like we was cool because of what I was doing. And that's what we had in common. And so when I started changing my activities and I didn't do that anymore, it wasn't like, you know, I'm cutting y'all off. Like y'all still welcome to come, but just when you come, like I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's places that I used to go that I don't go anymore. But it's not because I don't like I'm judging or anything. It's like
WUJM,
like I've just decided.
Petersburg.
Turn the laptop off. It was just like I just decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so there's this natural falling away.
Right.
You know, once you start to elevate and you start to grow, like things start to change. You know what I'm saying? And that was what my experience was. But I'm not sure if you know, there's other places as well. And Maria, she said it, you know, two cannot walk together unless they agree and you have alignment. I agree with that because, I mean, if we don't have anything in common, then it's going to just be this natural falling away.
But see, and then you have some stuff like people have a problem like, oh, I can't be seen in the club. I can't be seen.
That's flawed. I mean, because if because if you say you can't be seen in the club, like what we talking about here?
Right.
Like what?
Because people go out and I don't drink.
Yeah, like okay.
So you know what I mean?
I don't get that. Like if you can't be seen in the club, then again, your focus is not on the activity of the club or what you're doing. Your focus has become who's going to see you, and that for me, when I say flaw, it's like integrity because who you are in private is who you really are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so like if you got club in your heart, but you don't go because you don't want to be seen in the club, then what we doing here?
Right. And again, you see people who go, and this is what I'm seeing people that end up going is because they feel like they have to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
And they restrict yourself. It's just like a diet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't do it in moderation. You completely cut yourself off. And then the first time you get a taste of it, it's like, ooh, this is what I've been missing.
It's Teresa, good morning. Yeah.
Now I gotta go back,
Right.
So
right. But yeah, no, so yeah, I appreciate the comments. Thank y'all for sharing your perspective on that. Because we want to continue this conversation, because I do think that the Black church and the church in general has a very key role in the liberation struggle and in our struggle for justice.
It's okay to go to the club and church the
next day. just make sure you go home and shower up.
People going up in the exit
with their wristbands from the night before.
God knows my heart.
Yes, he does. But I ain't God. So yeah, man. Thank y'all for chiming in on that topic, and add your comments. Let us know what you think. Is the church still relevant? Is it still an important part of the liberation struggle? So why? And if not,
and I do believe that everybody should believe in something.
Yeah.
You should have a foundation.
Yeah.
And people need fellowship. I seen that in there.
Yeah.
People need people to help them. It's about accountability for me.
Okay.
You got to find groups that keep you accountable.
Right.
To help you strive to be the best you.
Yeah. And whatever you're doing.
And whatever you're doing.
And if that's your spiritual journey, then, you got a circle of people who help you with that spiritual side. If it's business, then you got your business folks and that piece of it. So yeah, you find your tribe, and you get your spiritual, your economic, your mental, education, like all of the things that you need. You'll find somebody to help you get it.
Yep.
All right. Today is February 12th. And February 12th is the anniversary of the founding of the NAACP.
Oh, wow.
And so on February 12th, 1909, luminaries like W.E.B. Du Bois and Ida B. Wells Barnett inaugurated the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, marking a pivotal moment in the fight against racial discrimination. This organization was born out of a response to a race riot in Illinois and would go on to shape the course of American history in the 20th century. The NAACP's emergence, we talked about that already. The organization's founders, including members of the Niagara movement, sought to counter racial discrimination through activism and other legal means. In their earlier years, they had they did all kind of stuff. They orchestrated an impactful initiative such as a 100,000 person silent march in New York to raise awareness about lynching, because that was big to Ida B. Wells. A significant legal triumph was achieved in 1915 when the Supreme Court struck down the unconstitutional grandfather clause in Oklahoma, bypassing voter restrictions for whites. And the NAACP has a centuries-long history and journey, and it reflects a relentless struggle for civil rights marked by groundbreaking legal victories, impactful activism, and others. And it's the oldest and largest active civil rights group in the nation. And the NAACP's focus on voter registration, legal defense, and advocacy has paved the way for successive generations in the ongoing pursuit of equality and justice. So shout out and happy birthday to the NAACP. All right, you want to do some Ask Kiana?
Yeah, let's go. We got 15 more minutes, right?
We got 15 minutes to do Ask Kiana.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So again, we want to remind you all that this is community radio. So we're going to take a minute to let you know that we're on 99.1 FM, 99 Jams, and we're on the moshowlive.com. Make sure you go to the moshowlive.com. But as such, we do rely on your support. And so we're asking if you can send us some stars, let us know that you appreciate what we're doing. And also you can go to 99jamstheberg.com and you can donate there as well. We're going to do Ask Kiana. Let me find it. So, hey, Kiana. My best friend's little brother and I have playfully flirted for years. My friend never liked it, but I always told her I was just kidding and wouldn't cross the line. You see where it's going? The thing is, he and I hooked up recently and have been going out for about 2 months. I want to tell my friend, but I'm afraid of her reaction. I know she's going to be upset, but her baby brother isn't a baby anymore. And since we've known each other, since we've known each other for almost a decade, we have great conversations and an amazing vibe, and we want to take it to the next level. But I told him I wanted to let her know before we do. How can I navigate the situation and preserve our friendship while being true to my feelings for her brother?
You done crossed the line now, so you might as well just let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
Especially since you know. So, okay, I'm okay with healthy boundaries, right?
Okay.
Everybody don't have to know your business. Your best friend is your best friend, but y'all are grown.
Yeah.
And I don't like when other people stand in people's way of happiness.
Okay.
Unless they know something that you don't know.
And what you mean by that when you say
like,
unless they know something?
Hey, like, I don't want you to date my brother because he done dated all my friends.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Or I don't want you to date my brother because I know how you is.
Right. That could be true.
I don't want you to hurt my brother, break my brother heart.
But I think if you know your best friend, if y'all truly best friends, I don't see people crossing that line.
Okay.
Unless they're serious.
Okay. Because she said we playfully flirted for years. Mm-hmm. So I guess, they got like this thing. Mm-hmm. But she said that she wouldn't ever cross the line, and apparently she crossed the line.
You done crossed the line, so you went there, and now y'all want to be serious.
Yeah.
Just be ready for whatever comes out. You know what I mean? But you do need, I say, go ahead and tell your best friend.
Right.
Go ahead and rip the Band-Aid out. I will tell you is that she may be mad, but if her brother is serious, everybody else will fall in suit.
Okay.
So it becomes if y'all stand together and y'all show that this is something real, people may be upset at first.
Right.
But people fall in line.
Yeah.
People generally just fall in line.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on y'all to be on the same page.
I got you.
What is your advice?
I think you hit it spot on. Like, if you already in it, like you can't avoid it. Right. And a lot of times seeing people try to avoid conflicts that they're already involved in.
Right.
And there's a difference between conflict avoidance and conflict resolution. And so now the way you could have avoided the conflict was by not crossing the line and, taking it further with her brother. But since you've done that, now the conflict needs to be resolved. And so the conflict that you're having, you like you said, talk to her, had a conversation and say like, this is kind of where we at and this is what we're doing.
And you need to have the conversation with the brother too. And just say, hey, like, if we see that this is not working out, we don't want to ruin everybody else's lives because we decided to take this gamble. Like, this is going to have to be a really mature conversation. And I mean, honestly, personally, I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, it ended everything.
Well, I mean, that's how me and my wife like got together. I used to hang out with her brother.
Right. And you said like, he was like, hey.
You know what I mean? And I told him like, hey man, let your sister know,
Did he have a problem with it?
He didn't.
So like,
I mean, and if he did, I didn't know.
So like I dated.
And it surprised her from what she told me. She was surprised because we used to like hang out. Like, like my wife was, man, like we was cool. We was like cool people. Like I used to talk to her about everything.
Right.
And when I say everything. You know what I'm saying? And this was before we got together. We was friends first. And then I started to look at her differently. And when I started looking at her differently, it was like, okay, yeah, let's, but I ain't know how to like tell her. So I'm like, you tell her for me.
You did the shy brother.
I was the shy brother. Like, and he put in a word and, we started talking on the phone and we started talking differently, to each other. But even after we were, so we was friends first, just, hanging out, being around, all of that stuff.
And that's usually how it starts.
But then when we started like talking, we talked for like a year before we even like next leveled it or whatever. So we just was like real cool. And then, the dynamics changed as we continued to grow in our relationship. But yeah, it started out like, we was just cool. She was just like, another one of the, the people we hung out around.
It worked out for you. I will tell you, I think the falling out with anybody is true friendships go through stuff, right?
Yeah.
Two real people never fall out.
Mo, it's good.
I feel like that. If you fall out in your friendship, that means there was somebody flawed in the bunch.
You think so?
Yes, because when you real people, like if you real, you accept people for who they are, and you might be upset, but you don't really fall out with them.
Okay.
Now there may be the dynamics of your relationship may change, but there's no beef there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if there's beef or something like that, there was always beef.
I hear that. There
was always some flawness underlined that you didn't. Either you knew and you just didn't pay attention to it, like you didn't call it out. But if you fall out with somebody for real, then there was somebody flaw in the bunch.
I think it depends on circumstances and situations, because you could be cool with somebody and then they do something that was just like
they do something,
or you do something too.
Again, there's somebody flaw in the bunch.
Okay, so they do something. They do something flaw, and then that's what caused you to fall out. Okay, I hear you.
I can tell you when
I tried to.
No, because I know you was trying to No.
Because I ain't run with a bunch of bunches. Like I told y'all know my story. Like I had small circles and just a few people that I was really close to, and so because like after my 4th grade experience, like I started picking my friends a lot more carefully, and so that thing that my daddy always, we all grew up that everybody ain't your friend, all that whole thing, and so I used to I really lived that. And so I didn't have a lot of, flawing out and all of that stuff because I picked my friends wisely. Like I got a group of guys right now, like we not even friends, we brothers at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even though we don't talk every day, even though, the dynamics of the relationship has changed, like we still love each other as brothers. You know what I'm saying?
And that's fine. Right.
Yeah.
And that's good because again,
you just grow apart. Yeah.
You just grow apart. That don't mean that y'all don't love each other. But you can tell there's always
Yeah. No, I hear that though. Somebody flawed out. They was always
I can tell you it's not a lot of people that like I'm not cool with, right?
Yeah.
That's been a part of my life because I really accept people for who they are, right? And just kind of move on and I move accordingly.
Okay.
If we don't talk anymore, I can guarantee it's you. And I promise you, like,
but who would say it's me?
No,
would you like if it was you? Would you really say it was you? Because if y'all don't talk anymore, they probably feel the same way you do. I'm thinking it was you, not them.
I can tell you, I can go through receipts, right? And but yeah, everybody has their story, right?
Yeah.
But I could tell you, like, honestly, I'm one of them people. I don't have to tell my story.
Yeah.
Like there's points where I know I've been slandered, talked about, and a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, let them tell it. Like I know the truth.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So here we go. You know how like we was talking about the Cat Williams?
Yeah.
And you was like, nobody came out and defended themselves, right? But then you have another thing is a hit dog will holler. So there's no winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no winning in the situation when it comes in. But like, listen, I know flaw.
Okay, there we go.
Trying to fix it. But I can tell you times when I done did some flaw stuff.
Okay.
Like
so you know when it's you and when it's not you.
Listen, I'm not perfect by far. I done been the mean girl at one point in time. I done did some catty stuff. I done did stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to my friendships, like people that I rock with and I love with, I really take that serious.
Yeah.
And so, and if I've done something, I have no problem with
Right. That's another one of the things that really breaks bonds is that principle of like you wrong and you know you're wrong, but you won't admit that you're wrong.
And sometimes you don't even have to be wrong. Like, I go by the whole thing is it more important for you to be right or the situation to be right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? What's important to you? What's your motive?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is it to be right or for the thing to be right?
And sometimes
whatever the thing is, you want that to be right, not necessarily you as an individual.
And then sometimes it's not that important for the thing to be right. It may not line up with your principles.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some decisions that I know that was gonna rock and ruin things, but I knew that where I was coming from was from a pure place. It was something that Kiana had to do for Kiana.
Okay. And so you navigate and communicate that. And if you have, if like you said, if these are really your friends, when you say that and you express that, they understand it.
Right.
That's like what I dealt with just recent announcement when I was, when I decided that I wasn't going to run, it was people that were disappointed, but because they know me, they was like, I understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh man, that's horrible. And how could you not when you said you was going to da-da-da-da-da? But it's like, man, look, y'all know me. And you know what I dealt with this whole time and what I've been dealing with and how I got to where I am. And so this decision, if you really know me and you really rock with me, like what you said, it wasn't a surprise to you. You know what I mean? It's like because you know enough about me and you watching and you seeing what's happening. And so when I've said, it's like, oh, okay. I'm not shocked or surprised, but you got some people who's like, oh wow, what happened?
Right.
Because they don't really know me. They just have their experiences and they're watching from afar.
And the thing is once you know people, you really know people, you should know what make them operate.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people that I really like to know because I don't like to offend my friends.
Right.
I like to, or the people, because my friends are now my family.
Of course.
You know
and that's
what I
that
mean?
whole treating people the way you want to be treated
or
thing.
And not even that. Treat people how they want to be treated.
Yeah.
So once I know you, I know.
You gotta be careful with that though.
I kind of figure how I'm gonna deliver the message. The last friend that I fell out with, I knew we was gonna fall out.
Yeah.
Right. When I said that, I say, hey, I love you. And I hope this don't end our friendship. It ended our friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, it ended our friendship.
but
I knew it. But it wasn't because it was something that I had to do for Kiana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't preserve what we had because it was gonna take a piece of me.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you was my friend, because it didn't take a piece of you.
Yeah.
It was selfishly that you wanted me to make a decision. It was a selfish reason on your behalf. For me, you could call it selfish, but it would have took a piece of me.
And here's what I'm hearing, right? What came up for me when you said that is this thing, and it's one of them learn and unlearns, and we can talk about it more maybe on another show. That whole idea of if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Mm-hmm.
But what if like I do want to be right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if loving you is wrong, then I don't want to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's some learn to unlearn type stuff.
Because
we just quote and we recite that, oh, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Well, no, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be wrong.
Right. Sometimes
you know what I'm saying?
But a lot of times we stay in toxic situations.
Ooh, there you go.
We stay in
because that do sound kind of toxic.
It's a toxic situation.
But we grew up on that. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Because we feel like you have your loyalty.
Yeah.
Is banked on you staying through everything. And I'm not saying that you don't go through stuff and you should leave at the first sign of trouble, right? Sure. Because everybody's going to have, something go on.
Right.
But when the loyalty is not matched, you need to
like reevaluate
where you're at when somebody is demanding more from you than they're willing to give.
Yeah, if you're not in the exchange is off is how we talk about it.
Right. Now we need to.
It's not a fair exchange. It's you get into like a ripoff where I'm giving more than
and it's
I'm
like
getting
you're
out of
pouring
this.
in.
Yeah.
Then and if you're changing, so we can talk about this like
we can bring it back.
We can bring it back on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. On Valentine's Day. Right?
On Valentine's Day. Yeah. Treat Your Sweetie Day is coming up. Valentine's Day. We can talk about that as well. But again, this has been great conversation, y'all. Again, you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, WUJM, and also on the moshowlive.com. So again, if you missed any part of the broadcast, please feel free to go back. I see you, Kiki. Please go back and see what you missed, because in the top of the hour, we talked about a lot of the community events, ways that you can get involved, things that's going on in the community. Again, you got the Collard Green Festival this weekend. You have the Fusion 49th Street cleanup that's going to be coming up on March 2nd. And that'll be here before you know it. We also gave you some important dates around voter registration. We talked about what you got to do to get your mail-in ballot. And the mail-in ballots are very important to me because this year's ballot is going to be very long. And if you just walking in and if your first time seeing your ballot is when you go to the voting booth, it's going to take you a little minute because it's going to be a lot of stuff on that ballot. So what I advise and what I would suggest and recommend and what I'm doing is getting a mail-in ballot so you can go to votepinellas.org if you're here in Pinellas County. But I know we have people that are listening all around. So just Google your county's voter registration or supervisor of elections office And they'll be able to walk you through how you can get your voter registration done, how you can get your mail ballots done. And that'll give you some time to really review and do some research on these candidates so that you can make an informed decision. So, yeah. You got final thoughts today?
Be the change you want to be, or see. Right?
Yeah.
Write down those 5 things.
What are those 5 things? 5
things that make you smile. And I should think that, I shouldn't. That make you smile, make you feel good.
Yeah.
Just make you appreciate life. A lot of times we let the one bad thing dictate the outcome of the day.
The whole day.
Yeah.
Like you have a bad moment that turns into a bad day.
Right. And we forget about all the beautiful stuff that happens, the things that really made us feel good. Just if you laughed here on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, Damien called in and made you giggle. Like that's a part that you should remember.
Reflect on.
On that. If you walk by and saw a beautiful rose, or just somebody just say, hey, you look good, or whatever the case may be, because a lot of times we remember that one bad thing and that dictates the whole day. So this is why I say at the end of the day, write down the 5 things that made you smile, giggle, feel good, just to make you appreciate life, because life is short. You never know
That's true.
What's going to happen. You go to sleep today, you might not wake up, or somebody else may not wake up.
That's right.
So that's why I say that.
Okay.
And then stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Up next, make you lose your shoes and shout all around the house. There's more that needs to be done and needs to be said. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And we out. We out.